A brutal murder on East C Street Sunday night ends a life.
Is a bizarre murder an isolated case or the work of a serial killer? What's the next move of a sadist who knows the police are watching? If there's a man with a bomb in the crowd, where will he strike? In law enforcement, assessing the threat and analyzing criminal behavior has become the latest weapon against the most disturbing crimes imaginable. It's a matter of mind over murder.
This program contains frank discussions of crime and sexual violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
911, what's your emergency?
My name is Jody. I am with Von Mar. I have people who are down and injured who've been shot.
At approximately 13:42 hours, the Omaha Police Department received a 911 emergency call for service of a shooting incident at the Westroads Mall in the Von Mar store. Multiple officers were dispatched and began arriving at approximately 13:48 hours.
Get out of there!
The typical killing spree lasts only 20 minutes. Before police arrive, the damage is done.
He came up the elevator and opened fire in the elevator area. Who the shooter was.
Entire communities hope there's something to learn from what these killers have in common.
He was a white gentleman, probably about 5'8".
The suspect has been positively identified as Robert Hawkins, white male, 19 years of age.
After the deaths at this Omaha shopping mall, after any of the mass shootings that scar a community, everyone asks, should someone have seen this coming? Did anyone miss the signals?
This is from the found suicide note. I'm so sorry what I put you through. I just can't be a burden to you and my friends any longer.
Like he might have killed himself.
Okay, you see it laying by a gun?
I see him laying by a gun.
I just want to take a few pieces of with me and just think, though, I'm going to be famous.
We will conduct searches of those respective residences in an attempt to collect as much evidence as possible that can provide us with somewhat of an explanation as to what may have motivated this young man.
How psychopathic was this young man?
In a vacant hospital, master's degree students from Nebraska Wesleyan University examine a fictional shooting spree. Research done on how and why mass murders occur becomes the schoolwork for crime scene investigators in training. Just as in 2/3 of real-life mass shootings, the gunman in this scenario took his own life. Left behind are clues to his mental state, his emotional frame of mind.
I mean, he's mad at the place for a certain reason, whether it was because he was a patient there, he worked there, or he had somebody that he knew and loved that did not receive the best care there.
In crime fighting, behavioral analysis is already in practice, and it's not without its skeptics.
If we have this forensic science, if we have this criminal profile, do we wait until the shooter is outside of the school? How far do we let it proceed before we intervene?
The goal? Blend good basic police work with the latest psychological research.
I think we all have an uneasy feeling about this guy. The question becomes, what do we do? Because it's not coming out of the blue. There are often very distinct patterns or targeted behaviors that take place as people move from thought to action.
How can we help him before it turns more problematic?
Research now helps police study the behavior of someone who may be on the verge of a violent attack, examine a crime scene and create a profile of a suspected killer, analyze a suspect's behavior while collecting the evidence needed to build a case. More and more police hope that understanding the mind of the criminal can help prevent the crime.
I've had one, actually an FBI agent, say, you know, well, I just think this is a lot of psychological mumbo jumbo, and I don't want to waste my time here. So you have to give them what they need sometimes, not what they want.
As the only FBI-trained criminal profiler to ever work for the Nebraska State Patrol, Gary Plank got used to the skeptics unfamiliar with the science behind the mumbo-jumbo.
When behavior profiling started, they did basically go to psychologists, psychiatrists, and try to get some behavioral knowledge and background on people, which was very helpful, but missing the piece of having the actual experience and background of investigating those violent crimes. So That's kind of the reason that we call ourselves criminal investigative analysts rather than just profilers a lot of times.
Now retired from the State Patrol, Plank teaches a new generation of current and future crime scene investigators at Nebraska Wesleyan University.
Come on in and let's have you solve this crime.
At a crime scene, figuring out the mind of the murderer is not as simple as it appears in detective novels that glamorize the skill known as profiling.